Hey guys, it's Tina. Thanks for joining me today. In this video, I want to show you what I did with the leftover die cuts and cut apart cards and DSP from my Wildflower Birthday layouts. Okay, so you guys know I do a big 8-page workshop every month, and this particular pack of DSP, the Wildflower Birthday, it comes with 2 sheets of the die cuts and 2 sheets of the cut apart cards, and I only used one of each on my layouts, which left me a bunch to make the cards. So here are all of the layouts that we made and that a lot of you have created or are going to be creating. But what I did was I added in some card bases and used a couple of stamp sets and made a huge pile of cards. And you guys can do that too. So this is all of them, and I want to show you what I did. So I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera around and we will get started to show you all the different things you can do with your leftovers too. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. Look at this huge stack of cards. So quite a bit. I actually don't even know how many I made. But I have a lot here, and for those of you who have created my birthday celebration layouts, you'll know that I didn't even use all of the die cuts on the sheet on the layout. So a couple of these cards, you'll see that I have used double of the die cuts, and that's why. But here is the whole pile. All I did was add card bases to it and some of the paper. But I thought it would be good to also show you a few of the other things I used. So the ink colors that I used were Old Olive. Let's move these because I'm going to show them to you one at a time. Old Olive and Blueberry Bushel and Pool Party, Pretty in Pink, and then Peach Pie. So those were the 5 colors that I stuck with, and that was mostly for stamping the sentiments. And then I did use a couple of stamps for the specific sentiments. These were the 2 stamp sets that I used. I used Saying Hey the most because I used the happy birthday and the thanks. I needed a lot of thanks cards and birthday cards that I need to be sending out. And so I wanted to use that, those 2 a lot. And then on here, I used the happy birthday. And the really cool thing about this set is it's one of the free sets on Celebration. So if you don't have it, now would be a good time to make sure you get it because I used that happy birthday right there. But there are so many other fun sentiments, and then look at these stamps, the size of the stamps. Okay, so those are the 2 stamp sets, and then I did use a couple of dies. I used the birthday celebration dies, and I'll pull them out to show you. I haven't gotten them on a magnet sheet yet. But I use this fun little die that is it's a giant banner, but I see it also, I could use it as a frame for a photo on a scrapbook page, or even cutting my photos out into this shape, which would be really, really fun. And then I use these 2 little tassel guys. And so that's this die cut set that I use. So it's called Birthday Celebration. And then I also used, believe it or not, Greetings of the Season dies. And I was inspired by a card that a fellow demonstrator made, and this is the die she used. And she used this long skinny guide. So I know a lot of you have this because we featured the seasons of green and gold a lot in the winter, and this set came in the bundle. So if you're wondering if you have it, if you got that bundle, you do. And this was the die cut that I used, and you can see it's a perfect shape for a long skinny sentiment, which is exactly what you get on this beautiful butterfly set. So those are the 2 die cuts and the 2 stamp sets I used. And then I also used this skinny gold ribbon. I love it. It's so pretty. So I used a bit of that. And then if you did my layouts, you know that the party dots were also something I used on my layouts, and there were plenty left over. So I have also used these on the cards. Okay, so there you go. That is a bit of what I used. So let me just show you the cards. And I want you to remember that most of what you're going to see is simply die cuts. So here is card number 1. How easy is that? Leftover DSP. I used gold foil cardstock and the die cut is just popped up with dimensionals. I stamped thank you. There are a couple of stamps that aren't Stampin' Up! That I use that are from my Close to My Heart sets that I actually loved, and that is one of them. And then I need to stamp a sentiment on the inside, and I actually just ordered a set from Stampin' Up! That had some nice sentiments I could use on the inside since it says thank you on the outside. So there is one card, and let's start with all of the thanks cards. All right, here is another one. Now, these flowers, all die cuts. The only stamping is the thanks. Oh, and I fibbed. One other die cut that I used is Spotlight on Nature, and we have used that one in our Palooza groups a lot, so I think a lot of you have that. And if you don't, I'll have a link below so you can see what it looks like. But I just used all the die cuts, and then look, these were just small strips left over from cutting that workshop. And I actually did 2 cards that look like that. Here's the second one. And all I did, move that out of the way, was just change what pattern papers I used, and I switched out the flowers. Now this is an example of one of those cards where I did not use this big flower on my layout, so I had 2 of it, and that's how I was able to use it between 2 cards, if that makes sense. So I had one on the die cut sheet I didn't use and one that was left over. And then I did this guy. How quick and simple is this? Again, pattern paper. I used an embossing folder, so any embossing folder you have would look great. Popped up that one die cut and accented it with a little bit of that ribbon. So quick and easy. Used a strip of that leftover DSP on the inside. And then these 2 are favorites. So I did not use this tag on my layout, so I had this left over. This is on the cut apart sheet, and then this is that flower from it. And of course, since we had a full sheet of the cut aparts left, I used the full tag on this card, and I used just the flower on this card. And I love these cards. Now, this Blueberry Bushel, I decided to accent it with Blueberry Bushel for 2 reasons. They complement, the orange and blue complement each other on the color wheel, but I also wanted to pull out more of the blue that was in these bouquets. So I didn't want so much just the pastel, I wanted a pop, and so that's why the cards look like this. And then again, I just used leftovers to decorate the inside. All right, and then here's a couple more. So of those flowers that I had left over, pattern paper I had left over, and these are quick and easy cards because the sentiment is just stamped right on the card. You can put this card together in less than 5 minutes, so easy. And this sentiment is actually from the Winterly Winterly Treetop stamp set. Okay, so there's 2 more cards. And I think that is all the thank you cards. So that is 2, 4, 6, 8 thank you cards. Okay, so let's move those out of the way. And then I started in on birthday because of course it is a birthday themed set. And the one thing that I had a lot left over of was cupcakes and cake slices and things of that nature, and like the cupcake cut apart sheet. So let's start with the cupcake cut apart sheet. Oops, here we go. So this cupcake right here is actually a square when you cut apart that sheet, and I decided to just trim out the cupcake and add it to the card. And these are virtually identical cards. If you make something you like, do it twice. So here you can see that's where I use that birthday celebrations die cut that I love. It's going to be so useful. It's a must-have. I'm telling you guys, it's a must-have. Just think about it. You could put it right over a photo and cut a photo out and make a banner of photos on a scrapbook page. So good. But look how sweet it looks on there. And the only difference is which sentiment I used. I used one sentiment from each set. So I used the happy birthday from Beautiful Butterflies, and I used the happy birthday from Saying Hey. And then I cut these little flowers right out of the DSP as well. So I had little pieces of flowers to celebrate. Now for the birthday cards, I've already stamped the inside. And again, this is a sentiment I love. It's from Close to My Heart. So it's not one that you can purchase, but it's a go-to of mine. I really enjoyed it. So I've used that a lot. And then doing this same theme with the die cut, I have these two cards, and of course I didn't use the birthday slice of cake on my layout, so I had one left over from the layouts and one left over from the sheet I didn't use. But there you go, that is your die cut, and I simply changed the orientation of the border. Now these cards were also inspired by a fellow Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I loved how she did it, and I tried using the little tassels down here, accented it with the ribbon, and on this one I just left the tassels off and put the tiny bow right by the cake. All right, and this one has the happy birthday on the outside, and this one has nothing on the outside. And then again, I stamped the insides. Time to celebrate your special day. So there's two more. And then, you guys, I had birthday stickers, cake sticker left over that I hadn't used. So the sticker sheet for the workshop came with a couple of cakes, and I only used one. So I had this pretty blue cake, and you know I couldn't let it go to waste. And then I had this die cut left over. So I did two cake cards, and basically the same. The only difference is the size of the piece that I embossed. Okay, so this one, it's a 4 by 5 1/4 because it kind of fills the card front, but you leave a nice, I left a little rim around it. And on this one, I made it much smaller so that I could add some of this blue metallic DSP. I had quite a bit of this left after designing my workshop because when I was creating the layouts, I didn't feel particularly inspired with this pattern at the time, but it's a great pattern, and so you'll see I use it quite a bit in the cards because it's really, really fun in these small doses. So you can see on all of these cards how I've incorporated it, and of course on all of them I have the scallops going down, but I do really like that paper in the card making. And again, I just added the die cuts right here, popped up around the cake, and my bow came off. The bow is supposed to be right there. I need to add a better glue dot, and then of course stamped the inside and used it. This one I like because I had one of these leftover banners, and again, just like on the scrapbook page, I didn't pop the banner up because these cards are all going to get mailed, and so I only wanted to have the 2 layers of dimension because it's going through the mail. So I have the cake popped up and I have the flower popped up. So because I didn't want a 3rd layer popped up, all I did was glue the tops, and then you can curl the banner a little bit and get that dimension. All right, so there are 2 of the cake cards. And then the cupcakes. The cupcakes were another card, another die cut that I did not use on the scrapbook page. So I had 6 cupcakes to work with, and it's virtually the identical, it's the same card. And now you can see that is where that fun little die cut from the seasons of the greetings of the season. So that's where this die cut comes in right there. Isn't that perfect? It looks so good. So again, greetings of the season dies work so good on there, and they're virtually the same card. I just added 1 extra flower on that card. All right, now let's see. Okay, 2 more birthday cards. The balloons, I used 1 on the layout, so I had 1 left over, and I didn't on the sticker sheet. I did not use all of these little like journaling squares that they had on the sticker sheet. There's like 5 or 6, and so I was able to easily incorporate them into the cards and just stamp right on them. Now this card is fun because to set off the balloons, I did a little bit of ink blending. So it's a pool party cardstock, a strip of that, and I ink blended it with pool party ink and the blending brush. So I did a little ink blending on that, and it kind of, I think you guys can see, it just adds a fun little shadow right around those balloons. Nothing fancy, so quick and easy. And then did the inside, and then again I had another one of those cake die cuts. Now, if you've been wondering about this, this peach pie piece with the flowers, this is actually the back side of the cut apart sheets. So if you're thinking, I don't recognize that DSP, or you didn't use it in your kits, it's because it is on the back side are all the little pieces for the cut apart sheet. All right, and then 2 more birthday cards. So I had this little tag left, and I had 2 because I didn't use it in my scrapbook workshop. So I have the one tag there, and the other tag that is identical, I simply cut the little piece of cake out and popped it up and put it right over the cake image on the tag. Another one of those stickers that I didn't use that I stamped happy birthday on. And then here is the last card, and again, this is one of the cut apart sheets here in the background, and then these are also, these layers right here, they're all part of that cut apart sheet, and then the die cut and a part of the die cut banner and a die cut flower. So really fun, and they are super quick. So you guys, I will put up pictures in the group, and I also will have pictures in my Facebook group that show all of the cards in case you want to recreate any of them. But let's see, how many birthday cards did I get out of that? I got 2, 4, 6, whoops, 8, 10, 12 birthday cards, and then we said 8, so 12, 14, 16, 18. I got 20 cards to fill up my stash out of leftovers. I basically just had to use white cardstock or white card bases, whatever you have, and most of us have white cardstock, and then just pull stamps and dies from your stash, and you can make a whole bunch of cards. Now, if your stash is already full, one thing you can do is make these up and give them away as little gift packs to someone you know that they would like them. So you could have a whole pack of thank you cards that you could give away like that, or you could have a whole pack of birthday cards you could give away. I always gave my granny a whole pack of cards and a book of stamps and envelopes, and she loved it. She sent cards out to her friends all the time with that little gift. So lots of things you can do with them. But thank you for watching. I hope that inspires you to use up your leftovers in a really quick and easy way. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.